welcome to Cosplay Stitch and Seam. I'm Pennon.
I'm V-Fire.
And I'm David.
All right.
Woo!
It's been a while since we got to actually get together and chat and record and whatnot. I missed y'all.
I know. It's been forever since we've spoken.
So long.
Well, it's also been forever since we heard from some of y'all listening. So if you guys want to reach out and talk to us, there are several ways you can do that. First of all is the email, which is cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com, or
you can go to the website, cosplaystitchandseam.com, and fill out the form there, or
Go to the Facebook page. And while you're on the Facebook page, join our fantastic community. Join our Work in Progress Wednesdays that Zenith Cosplay has been so kind to continually, time and time again, post before Mercedes gets the chance to. And of course, our Finish Fridays, our Throwback Thursdays, our Moody Mondays, our Judy Tuesday, Ruby Tuesday, whatever Tuesday. But if you're not a big fan of the Facebook and the weird days of the week's projects, go to our Discord page. Right now, we're having a great conversation about Chainsaw Man, because I freaking love that show so much. There's a link on our website, so go there. And while you're on the internet, if you want to support the show, there are many different ways to do that. You can leave us a review wherever your podcast app allows you to do that. That's so great. That's so helpful. You can always share the podcast with a friend. And also, we do have a Ko-fi, K-O-F-I, Cosplay Stitch, and a Patreon, patreon.com/Cosplay Stitch. For $3 a month, we give you a shout out every single episode. And for $5 a month, you can join our D&D live stream called Cosplay Chronicles. We just had a major reveal happen, and oh man, it was so good. It was so good.
Oh.
Excellent.
I'm still reeling. So yeah, join us for those. And as always, if you want to check out some awesome makeup and beauty products, you can go to foxbeauty.store. Check out their stock of all vegan, not tested on animal makeup products. You can also use the promo code Stitch and Seam to get 10% off your purchase. And yeah, how's it going, guys?
Oh my goodness, Chainsaw Man! I want to do I could do a whole podcast talking about Chainsaw Man, you guys. I don't think you understand how much I freaking love Chainsaw Man.
Oh my goodness! How many episodes are out now?
10, and there's only 12 episodes in the first season.
Ooh! Is it like weekly coming out still?
Yeah, we got at the time of this recording, we got 2 more episodes left, and
Ooh. Very cool. Very
how are you guys?
I have not seen Chainsaw Man yet. I did go see that new Violent Night.
Oh yeah?
I need to see that.
Oh, David something that plays Hopper from Stranger Things as Santa. And it was, wow. It was kind of like Home Alone for grown-ups. Because there's a ton of violence and cursing and whatnot. But yeah, otherwise a nice, lovely Christmas movie about Santa Claus.
About Santa
That is
Claus.
on my list.
Yeah. Santa Claus, who used to be like an ancient Viking murderer. So
oh my gosh, that's such great.
It's really good.
I love it so much.
I laughed so hard.
I am so here for it.
What about you, Mercedes?
Yeah. I have, again, going to be going on like a Sky binge.
Drink?
The Aurora concert was so beautiful. Watched it right after the Game Awards.
Video Game Awards, yeah.
Congrats to Elden Ring and for Game of the Year, and to God of War for getting so many awards. Holy crap.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But oh my goodness. So I just found out recently that there was 1.6 million people that signed on to Sky for that first concert.
That's so cool.
They created a mega server with you could have 4,000 people on there, and it was made of a bunch of mini servers. So you could see the other 4,000 people. They're these really cool looking lantern people kind of thing. But the eight or so, I can't remember the number, people in your mini server, you could see all their details and stuff like that and light their candles. So I got to watch that with Kame. And it was so good. And Sadie kind of watched really with cute. Us, but she was in another mega server.
Aw.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Saw. I did get to watch the Game Awards, which was nice.
it was very fun.
The orchestra they had whenever they announced the winner, and that amazing flautist, did you see, that was like going through piccolo and flute and alto flute, and
Oh my
every
gosh!
time they
Whoa.
changed the camera he was playing something new, and I was just like, holy cow.
Yeah, there was
that's
that one
talent.
dude with the curly
Yeah.
hair. He was so into it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I might
He's
have to
my
watch
hero.
a rebroadcast of it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
he was probably the best part for me.
He was.
But yeah, that was super fun. Oh, as far as cosplay stuff goes, I can like feel the ripples of excitement from like X Angel and a few others, because I have started a One Piece cosplay.
Woo!
I know. You knew it was coming after I saw that movie last time and got very excited about it. But I am hoping to have a cute little Gijinka chopper for
Ooh.
ALA coming up here soon. So
Sick.
yeah. And also like shout out to Jaguar Quinn for giving me like some awesome embroidery design software that I'm using to make little like patches and stuff that are going on it. So
Name
very
drop it.
fun.
What is it?
It's called Brother PE Design Plus 2. I haven't quite started. I've just started like loading the images to my gallery and whatnot, but everything seems to have uploaded okay, which is
Woo!
more than I can say for the last program I was trying to use.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were working on that program for a little while, and that was a hassle.
David was kind enough to like remote in and try to help me install this other software, but it was just like too old, I think.
David to the
Much
rescue.
too old. Which is sad because it was like really nice software when it was purchased, and it was just never used. It was put into storage somewhere, and oh well.
Yeah.
It happens.
All of that checking in with each other. What are we talking about today?
That's a
excellent
very good
stuff.
segue. Well, today we wanted to talk about self-care, since I don't think we've actually done a self-care episode since we did that salon visit where we got like our nails done and stuff.
Oh yeah, that was
So
great.
it's been forever, and that was talking mostly about like self-care, like what we like to do as our like right before a convention kind of stuff. But I thought it would be good to kind of go through like what are some things that each of us do for self-care, and like what are some ideas that you have for things you'd like to do for self-care. Both physical and like things you do to de-stress like mentally. So does anyone want to go first with theirs?
Scream into the void. Just kidding.
That does help. However, every time you scream into the void screams back, and it's got a louder voice, and I get concerned about stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'll definitely start like when it comes to like the mental side of things. One of the things that's like just so hard is that speaking as someone else who has ADHD, like it's so hard to stop doing something once you get that motivation going. And then to actively stop yourself feels like you're doing yourself a disservice. So it's so hard to like allow your brain to calm down. So what I like to do is I like to make that part of the project of like, okay, I need to do X, Y, and Z has to be a calm down, cooling period of you have to allow the paint to dry. You have to allow the glue to cure. You have to allow the fumes to clear out of your basement because you forgot to open a window. So like checking in with yourself in that capacity of like, okay, I'm going to work for an hour or two, and then I'm going to allow myself to stop and actually like listen to the audiobook that I'm listening to, or listen to the podcast, or just not focus on that for a few minutes by telling myself I have to focus on anything else that's not related to this. So not only does it give me the chance to like stop, physically, but it also like forces my mind to be like, okay, and now I have to like catch up to what's happening in the book, or sit down and like focus on something else that's going to give me some sort of success, whether if that's reading up on more tutorial stuff, and then that way it keeps my brain engaged, and I can kind of trick myself into thinking, oh yeah, I'm taking a break because I'm sitting down and I'm still engaging in like, how would you do this bevel cut? I wonder how that would be. And then like it just that little hack, sometimes that helps.
Yeah, I think those are some really good ideas.
Mhm.
I was actually like really excited to hear what y'all had as far as like ideas for decompressing and self-helping mentally, because I feel like that's something I really struggle with. So I appreciate that. That's really cool. I I think I have a really hard time practicing what I preach.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's something we all struggle with.
Yes,
And I definitely get
mood.
the like ADHD, hyper focus sort of a thing. And I feel like I have two modes, and one is hyper focus and the other is burnout. And I have a really hard time finding like a middle ground.
Yeah.
So that can be good if I'm on a deadline, and bad almost the whole rest of the time.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
I actually read an article recently, and I don't know like how valid it is, but I have noticed that it has helped when I have been kind of in a rut, is like you kind of like force yourself to take a step back and not touch the project, not engage in things, and just like make a little mental rule that you can't do it. And as soon as you've told yourself, well, you can't do that right now, your brain just starts thinking about like all the things you'd be doing if you were doing it right now. So by the time you've like deprived it of that task for so long, like I say so long, I mean like maybe 24 to 48 hours. By the time you have done that, you're like, all I want to do is work on that right now.
Why did I set up this stupid rule?
Yeah. So but yeah, sorry, this isn't like about tricks to get you motivated, it's about ways to decompress. So like, yeah, mentally is the one I struggle with. One of the things I did recently as like an act of self-care that I don't know, like I thought it was fun because it was like a hyper focus, but it was something that wasn't like, I didn't feel stressed that I was working on it, was getting back into like some video games. I ended up buying on the like Thanksgiving sale, got like a couple of games, the Cult of the Lamb and like Undertale and a couple others. And so I just binged the Cult of the Lamb for probably about 20 hours over the course of a week. And yeah, but it was nice to just kind of like do something that's like Animal Crossing, sort of like just maintaining and taking care of your little like compound.
And then sacrificing them to eldritch beings.
Yeah, of course, like you do. So I don't know, that was kind of fun to have a really low fun, like low energy thing I could work on and be focused on, and not feel like I had to be like go go go. Because that's one of the things I struggle with, is like I love video games, but I have a really hard time like getting myself to sit down in front of a screen and play them. So that's why I really like handhelds, because I can just pull it out whenever I want to play and just play for however long or short that I want to. But yeah, how about you, Mercedes?
My turn.
How do you self-care mentally?
So recently at my job, I got promoted to assistant director, and that's hella stressful. Hella stressful, because now I'm in charge of people. I'm in charge of people, so I have taken up meditation, and I will force myself to actually like sit down and I'll kind of like set a goal with each meditation thing. It's only about like 5 minutes. Maybe sometimes if it's a really stressful day, I'll do 10. Because like I've said before, like lots of sound gets to me. I get overstimulated and I start getting really snappy, and I don't want to make a kid cry. I would
Nah,
just
make me
feel
cry. That's
awful.
hilarious.
Yeah, not when they look up to you.
Nah, it's even funnier because then you betrayed them. You betrayed them.
Oh. So this is why David does not do my job.
Yeah.
These are the very different character alignments in our party.
So can you tell me more about like when you meditate? Because I've done the meditation like attempts. Like, is there a specific like do you just practice mindfulness in that moment? Do you try and clear your thoughts out? What does your meditation look like?
It depends on like what my goal is for the session. If I'm like super overwhelmed and I realize that like thoughts are not stopping in my head, I'll do one where I just focus on breathing, and anytime a thought comes in, I tell myself it's okay that there's a thought there, but I'm gonna set it aside again. It's really hard to do sometimes, but it's taken me a ton of practice. But I'll like set it aside and just focus on breathing, because like in high school, like I did running, and I don't know, I just really like that feeling of like I'm just focusing in on the breathing. And so that's what I end up doing for like the ones where I need to calm down. And then since I'm in charge of people, sometimes I'll sit down and I'll like throw on like some random meditation 5-minute thing from YouTube. I'll throw that breathing in there, but I'll try to focus my thoughts on how is my behavior today? What can I do better? I try to do self-reflection in some of them too, because I don't want to make any of my like the coworkers do anything that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I also like want to make sure that I'm always treating them respectfully and things like that. So it's a lot to think on, and I'm slowly getting better at it, but it really helps calm me down.
I love that. I love that for you. Like that's
it's taking some practice, but yeah.
I have tried some of the meditation, and like I think my struggle is that my mind wanders unless I do the guided ones. But like the guided meditations I found are really helpful.
Yeah. I like the guided ones.
I don't know why. I just need a voice that's kind of like, okay, now think of this. Okay, now breathe like this. And I'm like, okay, yeah. It engages the like, I want to be doing stuff, but also the like relaxing my body and forcing myself to do that.
See, and like if it's just music, then my ADHD brain will start like, I should be doing something else. But if it's a guided meditation, then someone's telling me to do something, and I have to listen to that.
Yes.
So we've done like kind of a soft mental check-in of like, where's your head at? How do you calm yourself down? Like, what do you do physically? We've talked about like before the con. How do you like? You've been working on something for 4 hours. You're three hours overdue on your timeline. You're 6 5-hour energy drinks into the thing. How do you like physically take a step back at that point? You know what I mean?
It's so hard to do it when it's like really close to a convention. I think the biggest thing is like, because you're so worried about time when it's right before a con. So I admit I am not super good at self-care, except for doing that like day or two before getting my nails done sort of a thing, just because that's kind of like my check-in point. Because like if I am not in a good place when I'm getting my nails done, I'm like, okay, I need to take this time while I'm sitting here and I can't move my hands to evaluate where I'm at on these projects and like make a plan for if I'm going to be able to get XYZ done, or if I need to think of a way to do it another way, or if I need to just drop something. I like it because it like I hate using this like terminology, but it forces me to take a moment of reflection. Just because like I am not good at doing it myself. So if I'm doing something that I enjoy, like getting my nails done, that's something relaxing, it also is like I can't be doing anything else but getting my nails done in that moment. And so it is nice. It gives you like a quiet time to sit and think.
So it almost sounds like, and this is me like speculating based on what you've just told me, but it almost sounds like by having like that time structure of like I'm going to go and do this thing. Like that kind of helps you physically, right?
Yeah.
So would it be fair to say like if you like pre-scheduled like a specific time slot of saying like, hey, I'm
Ooh.
gonna go get my nails done. I've made a reservation at this time, or I'm gonna go get a massage, or I'm gonna go to a spa,
Mm-hmm.
and I've already made the reservation. Would
Mm-hmm.
that be more stressful or less stressful?
That's a good question.
Right?
I think I like the nails because a lot of them are just walk-ins, and so it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to necessarily fit with where my schedule is going as long as it's during like their open hours. But that's a really good question. I'm not sure if having it scheduled would make me more or less stressed because it's another like deadline to look at instead of a like I'm going to casually do this after work.
Fair.
But yeah, you mentioned a lot of really good like physical things like getting a massage, getting a facial, getting haircut. I don't know. I like going to do all those things and that sounds like I am like pouring all this money down the drain to do it. But I actually go to like different beauty colleges because they like to have people to test on
Yeah,
and
smart.
like do stuff at a discount. So you can get like a nice facial, you can get your nails done, you can get um, a little massage or whatever. And it does take a little longer than the usual if you're going to a professional, but sometimes that can be its own reward in that, you know, you get a little more time to sit and relax. And also not spend as much money. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that idea so much.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily something that has to be cost prohibitive.
Mm-hmm.
For
What
sure.
about you, Mercedes? What's something physical that you do to like calm yourself down or just practice that self-care?
I mean, the breathing helps. But I can't think of like an actual like physical thing. But I do like to like, you know, go ahead and drink Sky. It calms me. And I also have a game which unfortunately David can't play because it's all about hue and colors. Called I
Aw.
Love Hue, and I'm actually playing through the sequel, I Love Hue 2. I love those games. Yeah. I heard that somewhere in it there's like a thing where it would be colorblind friendly, but I haven't found the settings in it. So I don't know if it's in the original I Love Hue and just not this one. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So I'll just play a calming game.
I love that.
Nice.
I will lay down. That is like the one thing that like I always crave being just in bed and not having to deal with the world. I fear leaving the bed some mornings because they have accepted me as their own, and I would hate to refuse that polite acceptance. So
That's amazing.
I
With the
oftentimes
blankets.
like if I'm really stressed out or I'm trying to like take care of myself, I will go and lay down. Even if it's just on the floor of where I'm working right then and there, of just like just laying down and being horizontal for a few minutes, allowing yourself to look at the ceiling and just focus on anything else. Even like still on the same thing, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna lay down for a second. That for me is just such a way that like I can let all of my muscles relax. My bones aren't like having to like hold me in some weird contorted way to get to the perfect angle of grinding the seam or whatever. And it just allows me to physically not have to worry about anything for just like even a moment. Yeah,
I love that.
I love sleep, you guys. I love sleep so much.
Ooh, that's nice. I like that.
Once a month, if I can afford it, I will take myself out to IHOP.
Ooh.
Oh,
and eat just the biggest like pancake garbage food meal. Like it's so good, and I just it's calming. Like sometimes Chris will go with me, but for the most part, like I usually just go by myself and just decompress. There's this one nearby that like has barely anybody that goes to it on certain days, so I'll go during their like light hours and just and then I like I'll try to leave like a decent sized tip too, to be like, thank you for this moment of relaxation.
Nice. I'm just picturing you as that like Winnie the Pooh gif where he's like tying on the little like bib and getting ready and so excited about his pancakes.
Adorable.
Yes.
Absolutely adorable.
That's fun. That sounds really nice. I did want to pose a question to y'all, because while I was like trying to think of things that worked well for me as self-care, I kind of wanted to think of like where that came from. When did you like, what made you decide that X equals self-care for you?
Practice. Trial and error.
I think for me, it was definitely just kind of a, you know, we all have those people in our lives that are constantly worried and like, you're pushing yourself way too hard. And I remember I was working on Last Voice and Hollow Knight at the same time, and just Bonsai was around the corner, and I was just like stressing out. And I remember I was so stressed out, and I was literally holding something together while I was waiting for it to dry, and I just laid down and I went, everything feels better in this moment. Like I'm still applying pressure to this seam that I'm hoping will hold together, because for whatever reason this one part won't glue together. And I laid down and I went, oh, that's nice. That's really nice. And that was like the physical moment where I was just like, all the tension is gone. It was a brief reprise, however you want to say it. But I was just so enamored by this idea of like, oh, laying down, that's such a novel thing right now. I feel like I've been on my feet for hours, or, you know, floor gremlin over whatever project or portion I was working on at the time. And to lay down was just so refreshing that I was like, I need to do this way more often.
I like that. That's really good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Speaking of laying down and meditating. So, oh my gosh, I'm so weird. Okay. So the in Sky for the concert.
Drink.
It's noisy. I know. Yep. Drink again. It's noisy. There's tons of people there because there's 4,000 people in a server. And there's all this stuff going on. There's like activities and things while you're waiting for the concert to start. But they also have a quiet room.
Ooh.
And you go in and you have your character lay down, and Aurora talks to you and says, breathe in. It's going to be okay. You're safe here. Breathe out. And sometimes when you go in there, there'll be like a sparkly version of her in there, and you can go hug her. And she tells you that make sure to take time for yourself. You're important too. And I love this room, and I wish they would make it a permanent thing and not just during the concert.
You just want to hear her soothing voice.
I will go and just sit in there. Like, it doesn't matter when the concert's going to start. I'm just like, I'm going to go in, I'm just going to go sit in that room and just stay there because it's so soothing. And I love that they did that.
Nice.
Oh,
that's cute.
That's beautiful.
I think for me, like, especially with the nails stuff, it was like, I think the first time I got my nails done was when I was like probably like 16 going to prom. And I remember it was just like such a like grown up pretty thing that I had never gotten to do. And I just like felt so mature. I don't know, mature the right word, but like it was something that made me feel special.
Ooh,
and
I love that.
So I kind of like equate that feeling with feeling special, and taking time to do something that makes me feel special is just like, I don't know, that's just the go-to thing. Also, like, this might be weird, I guess, but like my family is not like touchy-feely. They don't really hug. They don't anything. So I don't know, like you crave that human touch a little bit. Of like having someone like hold your hands and do like, and take care of you, or like giving you a facial, like having just someone there who's like taking care of you is a really nice feeling.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think like I'm still like kind of learning how to self-care more mentally. So I'll keep you posted on how I find the things that work best for me on that.
And I think sometimes like the physical will help with the like the mental, right? Because like it was that laying down, and then that allowed my brain to stop thinking about stuff for a moment.
Yeah, definitely. I like that.
Oh my gosh, sorry, I keep going, oh my gosh. I forgot, I do have one physical thing that I do. So my little Finch actually reminds me to do this every day that I'm at work, is take a walk.
Oh, nice.
Just a short walk. Right now with the snow, it sucks. But it gets me out of the building, and I can walk around outside and just kind of take a moment away from everything. And I try to think about, like, how does outside smell? What does it sound like? You know, what am I hearing? What am I seeing? What do I like? And I like being here in Utah. It's like I look at the mountains, I'm like, those are gorgeous all the time. I don't know how they are always so pretty. Except for that like certain couple of weeks in the fall, then it's like, gosh, they look ugly today. It's like right after the leaves finish changing color, and it's just all like dead. There's no color, there's nothing. It's just like, all right, hurry up and snow, please.
Nice. Okay, last question I have.
I'm ready.
Okay, in the coming week, because I know we all need it, what is your plan to take a moment to do some self-care in the coming week?
Do what?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up next episode.
Oh crap.
We're gonna be held accountable, Mercedes.
I know. There's a deadline, so you have to do it now.
How dare.
I think one of the things that I'm definitely going to do, and because of the fact that I've got, like, this whole month has been my self-care, because November was NaNoWriMo.
Oh, yeah.
I also had Quinn over from Scotland, so I wanted to make sure that there was time set aside. And, like, you know, when you have a guest over, you're like, oh, everything, we need to do all the things together, because you want to make value of their time as well.
Yeah.
And so December is just going to be my rest time. I'm going to play Pokemon. I've spent 20 minutes in Pokemon. And I have opened that game so many times where it's like, I'm going to play Pokemon. And then like just something comes up, or I was like, oh, I need to get my numbers in. We did get NaNoWriMo accomplished on this side. Woo!
Woo! Nice.
We wrote season 3 of The Last Voice. I know all of you were very curious. But
that is awesome.
But yeah, like it would just, I didn't have any time to actually do the thing of playing Pokemon. So it's going to be playing Pokemon. It's going to be allowing myself to lay down and play video games. And I've not given myself any tasks other than get the basics to continue surviving done. Eat food, do laundry, do the dishes, stuff like that.
Nice. What about you, Mercedes?
Those are good goals. Well, it's going to be like a crazy week, but I will try to take a minute for myself. I wish this was like the deadline was after Christmas, because after Christmas, I'm going not to Yellowstone, but near it, and I'm going to be in a cabin, and I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm going to sit in a hot tub and like relax, and it's going to be snowing while I'm in the hot tub, and it's going to be freaking dope. But before that, leading up to the holidays, I will force myself to take a break from work, even though it's going to be nuts with everybody doing like last second signing up for everything. I actually got surprisingly, a decent chunk of the Christmas gifts taken care of early. So that made me happy. And so I just have to find time to wrap them. It's been busy here, but yeah, I think I'm gonna make sure to have time where I just have me time and just breathe and relax for at least, I don't know, 30 minutes every other day if I can. Yeah.
That's very good. See, now I have to turn it on myself, and I wasn't prepared. Yeah, I think one of the things that actually, like, it's a thing where I'm actively doing something, but I consider it self-care because it makes me feel more relaxed, is to like sit down and make a list of all the things that are going on and all the things that I do want to get done. Because when it's just in my head, it feels like so much. It feels like is going to take over and I will never get done all the things I want to get done. But when I take time to sit down and make a list and like item by item, like look it over, it feels so much more manageable. And it's just like I can feel my brain taking a deep breath. So I think that's my biggest like self-care thing, is to just make a list and also like realize that I don't need to feel as stressed as I usually do.
Pannon's making a list. Checking it twice.
I will, however, draw the line at watching people while they're sleeping.
Oh, okay.
That's some Edward Cullen stuff. We don't need that in this house.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Do we? That was a good episode. That was fun. Thank you guys for sharing all the ways that like help you feel less stressed. Do we have, speaking of stress and like going to the other end of it, do we have some horror stories to share?
We always have some great horror stories to share.
Yay.
Horror stories. Spooky, spooky, spooky.
One real quick one. So Hockety Pockety posted back in May. That's how far back we are with all of the great cosplay horror stories. They have a piece of foam that has some paint on it and it flipped and immediately painted everything else and left some intense marks.
Oh
and
my
they're like,
gosh.
they said I could do it again in 20 minutes, but like, really?
Ooh.
Another quick one from Kitsuna's Cosplay. My cosplay horror story is from last week, as I was doing a test run of my Iron Man hand and everything was going fine until there was black smoke coming from my arm and then it was on fire.
Oh,
I'm
no!
fine, but my Iron Man arm is not, so I have to rebuild and recode everything. But that's why I did a test run of it before my next con.
Yeah.
Also, it was from a kit I got from for Christmas, so that might be why it was like, I'm going out in a blaze of glory.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
It looks like one of the wires got cut into, and it just splattered everywhere.
Dang it. Oh, that's scary.
Terrifying.
Gotta love them electronics.
I have luckily never been on fire due to cosplay, but
yeah, you didn't melt your melt your leg off.
Oh yeah. Spoke too soon. Yay. Well, thank you guys for sending those in. As always, if you guys want to share your horror stories, your happy stories, or just tell us what's been going on in your life, you can do that at cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com
or go to the website cosplaystitchandseam.com and fill out the form there, or
go to the Facebook page. And while you're on the internet, join our fantastic community. We would love to see you share your horror stories, what you're working on, what you want to work on, or just talk about Chainsaw Man with me, because I'm obsessed. Or Andor. We could talk
about Sky.
Oh my gosh, David, the last part of Jolene's season is out of JoJo's.
It is so wild. Legitimately so bizarre.
Oh. David, did you just tell me no?
No more Sky. I'm so hydrated now.
Amazing.
Oh man. So while you're on the internet and you want to support the show, there are many different ways that you could do it. You could also tell me, nah, you're gonna go ahead and just like talk about Sky, and I'll totally listen. I will always listen to Sky. But don't forget, you can always share the podcast with a friend, leave a review, or you can even join our Patreon if you have a few bucks. This is totally if you have extra money. If you are having like a little bit of a budget concern, or you have just like a few bucks that you want to throw us our way, like that's totally fine. We have no qualms about people joining or dropping or anything along those lines. This is all out of the charity of your heart, and we understand that this is a privilege for us, and we're very grateful for all of you. And some of those people that we want to thank are welcoming to the group Mace. Welcome.
Woo, thank you.
Tim Yoke, Wander Boy Cosplay, Trough Cos, Lydia, Rose Does, Yggdrasil, Dr. Steggy, PB and James, Cynics, Hot Riku, Renamira, Jazzy Kofed, Jaguar Queen, Gloria Shu, Sudi, and Silver Deeds.
Thank you, guys. And a sincere thank you to Macy Roberts for the use of her music as our theme song, and to David Jeffress for his amazing editing. How are those podcasts going, David?
Before we get to that, I did want to, I forgot to mention one thing for, helping with my mental, calm down and self-care.
Yeah.
One of them is listening to The Last Voice. Season 2 is done.
You got me so good.
At this point, I don't feel like it's terrible to spoil some of the season 2, but Jaguar Quinn voiced one of the characters for season 2, and they absolutely freaking killed it. And they brought so much energy. They changed some of the things about the character that I didn't even see coming, and it was such a blast to do. So go and binge season 2 and just really appreciate everything that Jaguar Quinn did for season 2. I couldn't have done it without them. They are so fantastic. And if you want to see some of my other work, you can always go to Comic Trades Monthly, where we talk about our favorite comic book collection in a book club format, talking about the complexities of a character. We just finished reading Berserk by Keanu Reeves, or Berserker by Keanu Reeves.
Ooh.
And next month, for the month of January, we will be reading X-Men, God Loves, Man Kills. Chris Claremont at his peak. So go check that out.
Ooh, nice.
Excellent.
Nice. All right. Mercedes, when you were talking about going for walks and looking at the mountains and how relaxing that is, I have a hard time with that because whenever I look at the mountains, I can't stop laughing. Because, they're hill areas. Hilarious. Hilarious. Bye, guys. Bye.